One. Oh, well, there we go. Take two. This is the Smart Woodshop. But what exactly is a Smart Woodshop? This video will be an overview to answer that question. As I go through it, I'll introduce you to various features and aspects of it. I'll follow up with detailed videos diving in to each of those. The Smart Woodshop. Smart, small, mobile, awesome rolling toolbox. I completed this design, I'm guessing about 5 years ago. Long video series of me building it, of acquiring this mission trailer, all aluminum, real high quality. This thing is as nice today as the day I got it. And it's lightweight. Prior to this was Art, the Awesome Rolling Toolbox. So that's what this is. This is my toolbox. This carries all of my tools. I have been a general contractor for over 30 years, over 3 decades. And over those years, I have had many different tools to help me do the job. Tools in vans, trucks, and trailers, even big box trucks. And I've built many of them out, all of them out over the years. And those designs evolved into this. What the Smart Woodshop is not, is the space it's in. This is my big garage that I park my vehicles in, and I film a lot of these videos. I set up and do a lot of my woodworking, but there's nothing fixed on the walls. Everything here is on wheels. In a matter of minutes, I can have everything out of here, and this thing would be one big cavern. The Smart Woodshop is a complete, no compromise shop on wheels. It's portable, meaning I can take it to the job site, any job site. So when I pull up with this and park on the street, parallel along the curb, put the ramp down, set up my benches, that's the Smart Woodshop. When I back the Smart Woodshop up to a garage, put the door up, put my ramp door down, and set up in the garage, that's the Smart Woodshop. When I port in the workbenches and the tools to a great room and set up, that's the Smart Woodshop. The Smart Woodshop has no fixed location. I have had big spaces like this, in fact, one this very size, completely outfitted, cabinets on the walls, all the big tools, the big Powermatic, in fact, 2 big Powermatic cabinet saws, big wide sanders, oscillating sanders, multi-spindle drill presses, all of that thing because I had a cabinet shop / wood shop to support my home building and remodeling business. But at the same time, I needed to do most of my woodworking construction on site. So I developed a portable system to go hand in hand with that fixed base system. But as the years went by, I realized that I didn't need the fixed base shop very much. I have digital plans available for you to download if you want to build yourself any of the smart tools that you've seen here. The Smart Bench, the Smart Station, all of the accessories that make up the Smart System or the Smart Woodshop itself. There'll be a link in the description of this video down below. You can go there, purchase any plan you want or package of plans, and you'll get an email from us and you can download them within about a minute or two, 24/7, 365. The crews could go to the shop and use it for prep work for some of the jobs, building mantles, maybe some bookcases, and then hauling them over, we install them and finish them. Because even though I stopped building production cabinets for like kitchens and bathrooms, the custom stuff around the fireplace, the mantles, niche bookcases, that stuff we could do all on the job if we had the right tools. And it just came to the realization we could do everything with the portable shop. And so that's exactly what I did. I had multiple Smart Woodshops. Although Smart, the name, and this final version came a lot later, it was at some stage of that those were, again, my portable shops that we took to the job. We needed them at the job, and I needed a fixed base shop less and less, to the point that it was just an expense and I wasn't using it. So I liquidated it. I got rid of it, and I haven't missed it for 1 minute. Well, not absolutely true. There is a part of me that would love to just walk in to this space, have all that big equipment built in, but that's just more of my feelings. It's not my needs. I can do anything in the Smart Wood shop that I could do in that big shop with those big tools. And a lot of that is because of more modern tools that we didn't have going all the way back, primarily the track saw. The track saw replaced the big table saw. And once I didn't need that, then the rest of the tools weren't that big and I could handle them. Small table saws, miter saws, sanders, the Kreg jig, those things, they all fit. They're all very easily portable. So this 8-foot wide, 12-foot long trailer carries all of my tools and my entire wood shop or carpentry shop, including my benches. You'll hear me refer to the Smart system. So there's the Smart Wood shop, but there's also some fixtures, some tools, some workbenches, and some tools that go on those workbenches that all collapse down into a nice, tight cube on wheels and roll right in to this aisle and store right in the middle. These benches right here. This is my working Smart Wood shop. This does everything that I need it to do. It's got my miter saw, it's got big 3 horsepower routers, 2 of them here. It's got my table saw, as well as an assembly bench, a workbench, and accessories that go on them, including this panel rig. This clips right onto either one of the benches. And by the way, there's a third bench that I don't have out. It's a larger bench. This is the Smart bench. That one's the Smart big bench, or the big bench. And it's in 2 parts because it's a little too big to haul around in one. So when I attach the panel rig to this bench, and again, on either side, on either end, I can even attach it to the Smart Station. It becomes a door bench. I can route for hinges, I can plane edges, and it's the perfect edge banding tool. And in a future video, I'll demonstrate that. This is the crosscut jig. This one piece of plywood, detailed out, and a couple of stop blocks mounted on Smart Bench, I can cross-cut full sheets of plywood. I am set up for absolutely CNC quality crosscuts using the track saw. This is a Smart Cradle. This holds the table saw off the end, either end of either bench or any of the benches. It floats it above the floor, so I don't need a cart. It doesn't need to be on wheels, and it keeps it perfectly in plane with the bench for my outfeed. So that way, if I'm working on a garage where the floor slopes, it doesn't matter. This is always going to be in plane. And when the bench moves, the table saw moves. So if I find myself working on a tight job and I have to do a long rip, say a piece of 16-foot base, I can move the whole setup just a few inches just to get the angle I need for that rip. And the Cradle, in various forms, hold all of my benchtop tools, such as the Kreg Foreman for production pocket holes, the oscillating belt sander, and really any benchtop tool. The Smart Cradle can be built specifically for that tool. Smart Station is my tool bench, and the only difference between the Smart Station and the Smart Bench is the cutout for the miter saw. Everything else you see, the cradles, the router tables, the panel rigs, everything will work and fit on either bench. I've designed them to be identical so that everything is universal, including the smart cart that makes them both mobile. So on the job site, I don't have to fret and spend time figuring out where I'm going to set up shop, trying to think about how long rips are going to need to be, where the material is, where I'm going to do most of my work, where I'm installing flooring or installing cabinets. I can just plop down in the middle of the great room, set everything up, roll it right to where I need it to be at the time that I'm working, and a simple lift down retracts the wheels, so then it becomes a solid rigid bench, and then time to move it 6 inches, 6 feet, 30 feet, lift it up and down, and it's back to being mobile. The miter extensions are calibrated and precise. I don't need to pull out the tape measure. I know that if I set my stop on whatever number, and they're both metric and imperial, and I lock it in, I'm going to get that cut. The short extensions, which I use 90% of the time, but I have longer ones with supports for doing crown molding, base molding, you know, those long trims. So when I'm set up for that, I'll get set up and do those, and the material can store underneath between me and the saw, so I'm in the most efficient position to be productive, to lift, cut, store, lift, cut, store. Most of the time though, I don't need those, so I keep those tucked away in the Smart Woodshop until I need them, and I use these again about 90% of the time. With the miter extension on and this block, I can go from 0 all the way out to about 8'6" for those repetitive cuts. The wood vise mounted to a plate, which is underneath, with these same holes, the same MFT hole system, mounts here on the bench. I can mount it there on the bench, anywhere on the bench. So it's not permanently mounted, sticking out of my way when I don't need it. And in transport, I just drop it off. It gets stored away in the Smart Woodshop. Everything you see here, both dust collectors, the miter saw, both big 3 horsepower routers, the table saw, they all come off of this, and they have a space in the Smart Woodshop that's easy for me to haul them one at a time. And once the tools are put away, both benches break down very quick and nest into a cube. The Smart Bench and the Smart Station, again, are identical size, and they drop vertically into either one of the smart carts. And then the second smart cart goes upside down on top and locks the cube together. Before I load them into that cart sits on top of this cart. This is a large mobility cart that I use on the job for moving materials around. It's really handy, but its primary purpose is to have big wheels so that I can muscle it around on those terrains that aren't nice and smooth that these smaller wheels are, that the benches and the carts are set up on. And once that cube is together, most all of the accessories, the router tables, the extenders, all of that stuff fit inside that cube. And then the whole thing, all by my lonesome, I roll right up into the middle of the Smart Woodshop. Once I'm on the job and everything is set up, I have my tool room with all of my tools organized, easy to see, and easy to access. And down to the smallest detail, the Smart Woodshop has evolved over the decades to meet the demands that I had as a general contractor. And my wife and I together built over 200 homes from the ground up. That means excavation to handing the keys to the homeowners, as well as more remodels than I can even remember. Details like drawers that don't have handles sticking out to protrude and get in the way, but rather just material removed keeping the cost down, being super durable because they never wear out, and not a single drawer slide in here. The bottom of the drawer, 12mm plywood into a dado, serves as the guide, and it's more durable than any guide you can buy. This trailer and the previous art and the variations before it have bounced down the mini dirt road, and I have never had a drawer fail. And not only that, there's no locking hardware, because when you push the drawer in, it will not come out unless you first lift. So it's a passive way to make sure that when I'm going down the road, these drawers are not going to open. Unlike some of my early designs where I purchased tool cabinets with drawers and they would have to be locked, so you'd close the drawer, but it may not necessarily be locked and you forgot to check. Then you might get to the job site and have a drawer open, tools spilled. Big goal of mine was to make everything passive. So even these tools here, when I want to grab one out, I just lift it out and grab it. There's no bungee cords or locks or anything like that. I'm Ron Paulk, designer of the Smart Woodshop. Mahalo for hanging out with me today.